àṣírí ti ń tú o, ọ̀rọ̀ ti ń fojú hàn. Àwọn ajínigbé wọ́n ti ń kà bòròbòrò. Àwọn ajínigbé, àwọn ajínigbowó tí wọ́n jí àbúrò olóyè Bayo Adelabu gbé ṣe gbàgbéṣẹ́ rántí nílẹ̀ Ìbàdàn tí iléeṣẹ́ ọlọ́pàá ti mú. Wọ́n ti ń kà bòròbòrò, wọ́n ti ń tú àṣírí iṣẹ́ láabi wọn. Hèyé, mo fẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ farabalẹ̀ kájọ gbọ́ àlàyé, kájọ gbọ́ àwọn àṣírí tí àwọn ajínigbé, àwọn ajínigbowó, àwọn ajínipa yìí tí wọ́n kà fáwọn ọlọ́pàá nígbà tọ́wọ́ ìyà tẹ̀ wọ́n. Wọ́n bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí í kà bòròbòrò. Hèyé, ó lágbára o, ojú àṣebí bí ojú èèyàn. Hèyé, ẹ jẹ́ kí n mú àlàyé wá fún yín gẹ́gẹ́ bó ṣe tẹ̀ wá lọ́wọ́, gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìwé ìròyìn ṣe kọ lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́. Ó gùn o, ó gùn torí pé àwọn àṣírí tí wọ́n tú, àwọn àṣírí tó jẹ́ pé téèyàn bá gbọ́ èyí ó tún máa tún rò pé àṣé inú èèyàn rẹ iná ni àwọn ẹni bí ń gbé. Ẹ wò ó, ẹ jẹ́ kí n mú wá fún yín gẹ́gẹ́ bó ṣe tẹ̀ wá lọ́wọ́, gẹ́gẹ́ bí àṣírí. Ìwé ìròyìn ní before his arrest by the operatives of the force, Intelligence Department Intelligence Response Team and other tactical teams in Oyo State Command, Segun Balogun aka Alawaye was known among other drivers at the motor park in Iwo Road area of Ibadan, Oyo State, where he used to convey passengers to their destinations. Unknown to many, he decided to choose another route to make money. He applied his driving skills to conveying members of the kidnap gang he joined to their operations and taking the victims to the safe house prepared for them. This he hid very well until the gang's cup became full. Alawaye is among the suspects arrested for their alleged involvement in the kidnap of the former Ministers of Power, Chief Bayo Adelabu's sister, Mrs. Olaide Busayo Adegoke, and her twin son. Segun has confessed to how he took the gang leader, Adewale Abolarinwa aka Oloro, to the house where Adelabu's extended family members reside in preparation for the kidnap carried out on June 3. Segun and one of the men working with a politician named with Ed revealed how he was approached by Oloro for the kidnap of the woman and her twin children. It will be recalled that the kidnap victims were rescued last Sunday from where they were held hostage at Lako community on Ayegun Olomi Road, Ibadan, by police operatives following the directive of the Inspector General of Police IGP Olatunji Rilwan Disu. Also arrested were the gang leader Adewale Abolarinwa aka Oloro and Dare Oyedele aka Solution. It was learned that Solution was well known as an automobile electrical technician, especially at Orita Challenge area up to Podo area and its environs in Ibadan. He was also said to have a business where he accommodated other automobile technicians' workshops. Saturday Tribune discovered that many people who knew him very well are still finding it difficult to believe that the same Solution was a kidnap gang member. According to police source, the plan to kidnap the twins started on May 5. They mounted surveillance on the compound where the twins live and on the surveillance of the children to and fro from school. It was learned that Solution took up the job of officer in charge of surveillance for the kidnap gang, trailing the targeted twins. Communication between Oloro and Solution, which were intercepted by the IRT operatives, indicated the kidnap gang's preparedness towards the kidnap operation. Unknown to the targeted family, Solution knew the school being attended by the twins. He knew the process of operating the gates whenever the car approached the residence of the victims. He knew the make of the vehicle with its tinted side glasses. He observed the smartness of the driver. He knew when the grandmother, ex-minister's mother, was in the compound. In one of the intercepted messages, Solution was heard describing the school being attended by the children as posh, equipped with air conditioners, and very expensive. Also, Solution in a chat with Oloro spoke on how he followed the driver back home to understudy the situation in the environment where the targets were residing. To which Oloro responded that Solution should not allow their plans to drag before they would strike. Further information gathered about Solution revealed that he owned 2 buildings within the Ayegun community and was the one who helped to get the caretaker from whom the gang rented the house turned into a kidnapper's den. It was also discovered that his younger brother was living in the same area but had fled since the lid of the gang atrocities was blown open. During a search, a pump-action gun was reported to have been found in Solution's house, totaling 3 guns recovered from the gang. Before the arrest of the victims and arrest of the suspects, information added that the repeated kidnappings within Ibadan had raised suspicions about Oloro's likely involvement, prompting a kickstart of intelligence-led gathering of information about him. Especially when he allegedly jumped bail after the releases from the prison for a previous kidnap offense. Since Alawaye was known to be Oloro's friend, operatives of the monitoring unit reportedly met and asked him of Oloro's whereabouts, to which he responded that he had been calling him but had not been able to reach him. However, the operative's eagle eyes saw that he was making attempts to delete some information from his phone, which made them snatch it from him to have a look at what he was trying to do. To their surprise, they reportedly stumbled on a message involving the purchase of a gun by Oloro, who told Alawaye that the gun seller had refused to give him the weapon after taking his money. With that, the operative detained the suspect for investigation, unknown to them that he was part of the kidnapping that occurred a day before he was picked. His involvement was revealed 2 days after in an interview with Saturday Tribune inside the cell. Segun, age 47, and an Ibadan indigene, open up on his membership of the kidnap gang. I quote, "I am a driver who transports passengers from Iwo Road Park at World Oil Axis. I did not start the operation with the gang from the onset. I have known Oloro for more than 10 years in our transport union. At a point, he committed some crimes and was arrested and remanded. Later, we heard that he was in Lagos. Along the line, he returned to Ibadan. One day, I saw him at Iwo Road Motor Park. It was in 2025. He gave me his phone number and some money we used to chat. On a particular day, the transport union chairman and I were discussing Oloro, wondering what he was doing as a job. Before then, a police officer who had been looking for Oloro had told us that he trumped bail. We called him and he came to us. We discussed his atrocities with him and he promised not to do such again. He even placed a curse on himself if he ever committed a crime again. Oloro started frequenting the motor park. Then he started discussing about upcoming elections and campaigns. In 2019, Oloro and I worked for a politician. When he did not win the governorship, I left the motor park. This time, 2026-2027, we decided to work for the 2019 candidate who did not win. And we used to call one another. However, at a time, Oloro was not responding to my calls frequently as he said he was busy in Lagos. On his return to Ibadan, he stopped coming to the political group's outings. Recently, Oloro moved to the camp of the man who was the primary named with it, but I told them I would not with the old governorship aspirant named with it. However, that did not stop us from interacting. One day in May, while we sat together, Oloro asked me if Bayo Adelabu still had a mother, and I said yes. He asked me again about where she was living, and I told him. He said I should take him to the place. One day we went to Liberty Stadium for an aspirant's declaration. From there, we proceeded to Adelabu's mother's house. After showing him the house, he opened up to me that he was planning to kidnap the mother or a child from the Adelabu's family. The reason he gave was that he was broke. He asked me to join him also, pointing out that I was also broke and just driving without making much money. He promised to pay me well, and I agreed to him. My role was to drive the vehicle used for the kidnap operation. On Tuesday, June 2nd, he called and told me that the operation would be carried out the following day. He described the spot where I would join him along Expressway at Soka area. After we met on Wednesday, we left for Podo area where Solution was domiciled. From Podo, we left for Challenge. We were 4 in the operational vehicle: Oloro, Solution, Kelechi, and me. I was the driver while 3 others were masked. We parked the car for about 20 minutes, waiting for the car conveying the children to school to pass by. Oloro had thought that a driver would be the one with the children. The twins were his target to collect ransom. As Oloro saw the targeted car, he asked me to follow it, then directed me to Sua and blocked it at the front. He and 2 others got down and bundled the mother and the children into our operational car. I drove the car to Ayegun, got down and left others. My heart was pumping hard. Inwardly, I was so afraid. Since that day till now, I have been unable to eat. I have been drinking water only. How I was arrested. On Thursday, I was called by a police officer and a member of our transport union. I was told to enter the police vehicle. Then I was told that they were searching for Oloro. My heart flustered, but I also knew he had other issues. So I suggested we call him. We did, but he did not pick the calls. Later, he sent me a voice note, and the police took the phone from me. They had other voice notes in which Oloro complained to me about the person he wanted to buy a gun from, but who took the money without giving him the gun. That was how the police officers said I knew about gun purchase by Oloro. I was arrested, after which the police got to know about my involvement in the kidnapping on Saturday when Oloro was captured. The second suspect, Solution, also told his own story, and I quote, "I am 43 years. I'm from Ishararema in Ogun State, but Ibadan based. I am a member of Odua People's Congress (OPC). I trained in rewiring. I have a business named Solution Land Automobile Service. I got to know Oloro about a year ago. Oloro was initially a member of OPC, but was expelled after the kidnap case he had back then. I heard about him from OPC members. He later went to Lagos, but he used to come to Ibadan. I did not know how he got my number. He called me and started interacting with me. He was a cab driver in Lagos, and whenever he needed money, he would call me and I would send him some amount. He came to Ibadan one day and asked me to meet him at toll gate at Ibadan end of the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. He told me that he wanted to move around the city, asking if I could get him a vehicle for about a week. I told him I would not, because that day was the first time I was seeing him face to face and the car with me was not mine. I was repairing a vehicle's gear that would need running for a week. However, I said I could go with him to wherever he wanted to go. That was last year. He was using his Corolla car for the operation. He bought it at Gbagi area about 7 months ago. He informed me about joining his kidnaps gang about 6 months ago, but what he asked me to do was to follow him in my own car. For example, if he was going to Iwo Road, he would ask me to wait at Oremeji area. After a while, he would ask me to make a U-turn. Sometimes he would just call and tell me to join him at a particular joint at Bodo, Makola, or another place. Whenever we return from those places, I would be wondering on the reason for the patrol. I knew 2 people with him then. One of them was TJ, who used to come to Ibadan from Lagos. Another one is a commercial motorcyclist at Akpata area of Ibadan. I believe he introduced the operation to me when those ones were no longer with him. He said he wanted to use my car, but when he saw it, he told me it was too small. He brought one Toyota Corolla belonging to Kelechi to my house at Podo area on Tuesday, June 2nd. There were 2 pump-action guns in it. On Wednesday morning, Oloro came to my place in his own Toyota Corolla car. The key of the car brought to me the previous day was handed over to Alawaye. During the operation, 3 of us, Oloro, Kelechi, and I, used masks. Alawaye did not use a mask because he sat in the car. Oloro gave me an axe to hold. He and Kelechi held the 2 pump-action guns. Oloro was the one who broke the side glass of the car, conveying our victims. He opened the door and told me to pick one of the children who sat in the front. Kelechi picked the second child. Oloro was the one who bundled the mother into the car. The person who was preparing food for the captive was Oloro's relatives. He did not follow us for the operation, but it was as if he was always invited to handle feeding of the victims. Whenever Oloro needed money, he would ask me to lend him. I did not know how much was demanded as ransom because it was Oloro and Kelechi that used to go and collect it whenever they told the family of the victims to drop it. Before the last operation, which I joined, he once gave me 300,000 naira for following him with my car. He gave me 200,000 naira at another time. On Thursday, the day after the operation, I called Oloro, but he did not pick my calls. On Friday, it was the same thing. I was disturbed by that, but struggled by soldiers and continued with my life. I was at home on Saturday, but later went to Top 1 to relax. While there, I messaged him asking for the reason he was not picking my calls, but he did not respond immediately. Later, he asked me where I was, and I told him. He said he would come to join me. That was when police arrived to arrest me. By then, Oloro has not told me the amount I will get as my share of the ransom when paid. I did not know how I got into such a crime. I have a lucrative business. If God can save me from this, I will never venture near crime again. Getting Oloro for an interview was a difficult task. He has refused to talk since Sunday when the Commissioner of Police, Olugbenga Ayodeji Abimbola, briefed journalists on how the victims were rescued and suspects arrested, with 2 of them neutralized. It was learned that not only has Oloro refused to talk, he also sang food and water and was soiling himself with urine and feces in the cell he was kept. On Tuesday, Saturday Tribune learned that he was taken to hospital because of his condition, but he refused to respond to doctors' questions to know the treatment he needed. Oloro was said to possess many charms recovered from him. The FIDIRT operative said the charms he possessed were so many that some were even found in his car. Past kidnap operations. Among the arrested suspects, Oloro had been known to be deep in criminal activities. Òun náà ni ẹ̀yin náà ti gbọ́ tá a mú wá fún yín yẹn gẹ́gẹ́ bí àwọn àṣírí bí àwọn ajínigbé àwọn ajínigbowó tí àwọn ọlọ́pàá mú lórí ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ ìjínigbé àbúrò Bayo Adelabu, Pẹ̀ǹkẹ̀lẹ̀ Mẹ́ẹ̀sì àti àwọn ìbejì rẹ̀ bí wọ́n ṣe ń kà bòròbòrò ní àgọ́ ọlọ́pàá nígbà táwọn oníròyìn tán ń fi ọ̀rọ̀ wá wọn lẹ́nu wò lórí ipa tí wọ́n kó bí wọ́n ṣe jí àbúrò Bayo Adelabu àti àbúrò rẹ̀ àti àwọn ọmọ rẹ̀ àwọn ọmọ ìbejì rẹ̀ bí wọ́n ṣe rí jí wọn gbé bí ọlọ́pàá ṣe mú wọn. èyí sẹ́rí wípé lèyí lágbára àárín wa náà ni wọ́n ń gbé àárín wa náà ni wọ́n wà lọ́lọ́pàá fi máa ń sọ wípé tá a bá gbọ́ nǹkan kan ká sọ nǹkan kan o tá a bá gbọ́ tá a bá rí tí ó jẹ́ bí ìwà ọ̀daràn tàbí nǹkan tó gba ìfurasí ká fi tó lè ṣe ọlọ́pàá létí kọ́bẹ̀lẹ́dùmarè kó má fi sọ rẹ̀ sọ wá o kó má dáàbò rẹ̀ bò wá kó má jẹ́ kárin náà ń sí o èyí sẹ́rí pọ̀ lágbára ọ̀gá o kí lè ro tiyín kí ni ìwòye tiyín lórí eléyìí tá a mú wá fún yín ẹ fi ṣọwọ́ sí wa láàyè comment nísàlẹ̀ fídíò yìí ẹ rí wípé inú àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ tí àwọn ọ̀daràn yìí ń sọ wọ́n ní àwọn jẹ́ alátìlẹ́yìn alátẹ̀lé àwọn olóṣèlú tí wọ́n ló kọ nílẹ̀ Ìbàdàn tẹ́ ẹ bá gbà pé tẹ́ ẹ bá rántí tó sì jẹ́ wípé àwọn olóṣèlú yìí náà mọ àwọn ẹ̀gbọ́ tírú eléyìí bá wá ń ṣẹlẹ̀ láwùjọ tó jẹ́ pé àwọn olóṣèlú tán ló kọ tán ló kì wọ́n dá àwọn ọ̀daràn mọ̀ táwọn náà ò sì sọ nǹkan kan táwọn náà ń lò wọ́n gẹ́gẹ́ bí irinṣẹ́ òṣèlú irinṣẹ́ jàgídíjàgan òṣèlú ní ti máa gbẹ̀yìn ẹ̀ náà rẹ o ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ o ẹ̀yin ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n ẹ̀yin onímọ̀ ẹ̀yin olóye kí ni ìwòye tiyín kí lè ro tiyín ẹ fi ṣọwọ́ sí wa láàyè comment nísàlẹ̀ fídíò yìí a kà á sì ṣe àgbéyẹ̀wò rẹ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìṣe wa ẹ ṣé bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń wò wá ẹ ṣé bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń gbọ́ wá ojú tẹ́ ẹ fi ń wò wá kò ní fọ́ o etí tẹ́ ẹ fi ń gbọ́ wá kò ní di láṣẹ Èdùmàrè ìbànújẹ́ ó kéré ó tóbi ni o kò ní jẹ́pin wa lágbára àdẹ́dàá thank you God bless you.